thanks for tuning in for a special episode of Unreal Talk. This time, we're doing a superpower beatdown.
Not really, because superpower beatdown videos kind of suck, because they can never get out on time, they're never accurately portrayed, it's all done by voting instead of actual, logical reasons. Because there ain't no way in hell Batman beats Darth Vader. I don't care if he has EMPs. Darth Vader goes like this.
Yeah, Darth Vader has ESP.
N.
That's right. Watch sports and shit.
But anyway, yeah, okay, but, this is just a hero battle.
Yeah.
It's a logical discussion where we're going to each represent a particular hero, present facts and information about what they've done, what they can do, how they do the things they do, and then at the end of it all, we leave it up to you, the fans, to vote on who you think won. So we're just as bad as the other guys, really.
Yeah, but at least you know what? They can put logical thoughts into, hey, why did we choose this person? Rather than, hey, they're cool.
Unless they just do the... But either way, who fucking cares?
Exactly, because you know who wins in the end? Our ratings.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we play the game. That's how you play the game.
We'll keep doing more of these.
Exactly. So let's get started. Go!
Okay, so this time we've got Catwoman, represented by me, and the Black Widow.
Represented by me truly.
And to clarify, not the movie Black Widow, but the actual Earth 616 Marvel Universe Black Widow.
Yeah. And specifically Natasha Romanova.
Yeah, the redhead, not the blonde.
Yeah.
Not that one that got deep fried in the new Avengers books.
Yeah. Or, any alternate Black Widow that exists.
Because, there's a lot of double characters and stuff. But yeah, anyway. So, the way I got this thought out, the way it makes the most sense, is that, there's a very high-profile criminal who's stealing from companies and from corporations, taking information from their computers and, valuables from their CEOs. Now, some of this information could be dangerous. So, of course, whenever somebody is doing high-end espionage, Nick Fury gets on the phone and he says, Coulson, you motherfucker. Because Nick Fury says motherfucker all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And he tells Coulson to get Romanov on the case. Because she's the person we chose for this fight.
Exactly.
And because he really doesn't want anyone shooting arrows into the suspect before he gets a chance to question them.
Plus, it'd be very bizarre if the Hulk just dropped down in the middle of a jewel heist and, ate Catwoman.
Yeah, that would be awkward.
I've seen video.
Hulk smash.
But we're saving that.
Hulk pet kitty too hard. See, we're all about logic in this. Yeah. Ain't no way Catwoman's walking away from the Hulk without stretching. But yeah, let's talk about the basic statistics for these fighters. Catwoman is actually 5'7" and weighs in at 135 pounds. Now, it doesn't say if she's 5'7" or if she's 5'7" with heels, which she usually wears when she does her criminal thing.
Yeah. On Black Widow's end of things here, she is 120 pounds and she's 5'1", so she's short, but enhanced. As you'll find out.
Yeah, Catwoman can bench press a maximum of 270 pounds. Which is impressive.
For any human.
Just stop it.
Yes.
Tell you what, why don't you do an episode of Blade Clan Health and Fitness about how unrealistic it is that they can lift that much weight and just get on with your character who can actually lift more.
Yeah.
And is smaller.
Yes. Well, she's smaller, but she can lift 500 pounds because she has like a knockoff version of the super soldier serum that was given to Captain America years earlier.
It's more like the really good soldier serum.
Yeah.
Which is also interesting. Now, Catwoman doesn't have any super soldier serums, but she does have a unique fighting style, which is a combination of boxing, street fighting, dragon-style kung fu, and karate. She does all that karate.
Yeah. On my end of things here, the Black Widow was trained by the KGB 70 years ago. But...
So she's been gay bashing for a long time. No, wait.
Yeah. Digging up, though, what modern KGB agents were trained in, mostly it was Sambo, which was close-knit combat, basically focusing on the breaking of limbs and manipulating of, like, say, poking through eye sockets and such.
Although I would say that this is kind of a wash, because both of these people have one thing in common that I don't think either one of us really went into much detail on.
And what's that?
Well, I mean, Catwoman, while she is a villain half the time, other half the time she's actually fighting more towards the side of good, not necessarily on it, but she's worked with Batman.
Yeah.
And, you know, prep time jokes aside, Batman is one of the premier martial artists of his universe. So even just hanging out with him, she's gaining more understanding of Kung Fu. Now, Black Widow spends an awful lot of time with Captain America. They train together.
Yeah.
So aside from just his combat skills, which he's not exactly a martial artist or anything, but, you know, he's got a good grasp on hand-to-hand combat. So I think what we have here, just in the basic thing, doesn't quite cover everything that could potentially come into play in that fight.
Yeah. Now, one thing in regards to combat specifically, though, that I would have to say for experience-wise, is that where... If it is to be believed, however old Catwoman is, did you ever find out when she started?
You know, it depends on which backstory. I mean, DC has a real problem with keeping their universes separate. I mean, Marvel goes to the trouble of numbering them and labeling them, so you can figure out which one's which. DC is kind of like, well, if you read the comic during this time, she started as a teenage prostitute, and then beat up a few pimps and became, you know, a kingpin and went and learned martial arts and shit. Or maybe she was just bored. Or maybe her boss pushed her out of a window.
Yeah. Or maybe she met Bruce Wayne when she was like 11 years old and, you know, she saw who killed the Waynes and her and Poison Ivy are like best friends.
Or maybe she got flushed out of a sewer pipe and went to talk to some crazy cat lady. And then became obsessed with cream and beating people up.
And then had sex with Sling Blade.
But you know Catwoman's bisexual, right? I think that gives her the edge in this fight.
Well...
Because the fans are going to go for the chick who's more likely to make out with the other chick.
Yeah. Well, if you Google Black Widow, trust me.
That ain't canon. You show me the in-canon issue where Black Widow makes out with the Scarlet Witch.
It might exist. You never know.
You bring it to my attention, then we'll call it that. But yeah.
So that part we'll put on hold. But for the actual battle, what I was going to say as far as experience-wise, like, yeah, sure, you know, Romanova.
Just call her Black Widow, goddammit.
Romanova Ding Dong. Yes.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, the Black Widow has 70 years of training. Well, more like, you know, probably 65 years of training, something like that.
50-something. I mean, if she's 70 years old, even if she started as a teenager, she's only been in the business for like 50-some years.
Yeah, see, the serum that she was given makes her age extremely slowly. So she's actually quite old, and she's been in the business for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, despite the fact of what she's learned from the KGB, God knows what she's picked up over years of espionage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, if I had 70 years to study whatever the fuck I wanted in regards to ways to kill people, come on.
Yeah, considering that a large part of her career she was an assassin and a spy,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure she's, you know, learned some tricks to the trade. Whereas Catwoman, at the oldest, I would say is probably 35.
Which also brings us to some of the the rules, even though these kind of fights generally shouldn't have rules, you know, we're going to assume that Nick Fury wants this espionage artist alive. So, you know, as easy it would be for Black Widow to snipe her from 2 cities away with an assault rifle, that's not going to happen. This is going to be, you know, an actual physical combat, person to person.
Yeah.
And if there is some gunplay involved, there probably won't be as much, because it's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are some edges that some of the characters have over other characters. So we've gone over the physical attributes and the fighting styles of our respective characters here.
Mm-hmm.
How about going into some weapons, since we're talking about...
Yeah, well, as far as equipment goes, Catwoman has a very simplistic arsenal. I mean, she does at times employ smoke bombs, you know, kind of Batman style. She does use a whip, and she does have a gun, although, for the life of me, I can't remember the last time I've seen Catwoman actually shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Probably because of that whole on-again, off-again with Brucey. You know, he don't like that killing shit.
Not only that, but where does she hide it when she's normally wearing skin-tight spandex?
Remember that scene with Machete? Oh, yeah. But yeah, her outfit is a fireproof padded leather catsuit. So it is tougher than just wearing spandex. I mean, it's not going to stop bullets or anything, but, you know, it's certainly going to keep less tough knives out of her way. She has claws built into the gloves, which are capable of slashing through body armor, which may be a, you know, push in her favor, because I don't doubt that, you know, whatever the Black Widow is wearing is probably bulletproof, you know, armored to some degree. I know she ain't just wearing spandex.
Yeah.
But yeah, the claws can actually cut fairly easily through most armors. The whip is 12 feet long, and she uses that thing like a surgeon. Just perfect accuracy. Occasionally she uses night vision goggles. I really don't know how good those would be in just a straight up fight, but they may help with an escape if needed. And that's pretty much it for Catwoman. She is not exactly, you know, she's a thief, you know, she's got like a utility belt of thief stuff.
Yeah, she's not exactly a brawler.
So unless she's going to stab someone in the eye with a lockpick, you know, it's mostly going to be fist fighting and whipping.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand of that, Black Widow is basically prepared to do some damage, let's say. So, the actual weapons that she carries, you'll notice she has wrist gauntlets that she's always wearing, even in the movies, for those who don't really follow the comic books. Well, there are things on those called the Widow's Bite, which is a high-frequency bolt that she fires that she can set to up to 30,000 volts, taking down some of the toughest supervillains even with those things. Those have a range of 20 feet. She also can fire tear gas from them as well. And she has been known in the past to equip other things for specific missions. I'm going to omit in this particular case.
Yeah, no prep time.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say she didn't know what she was getting into in this fight, so she just came au naturel. Now, the costume itself that she's wearing is actually a Kevlar-like substance that is able to prevent medium-grade bullet fire and knife wound. So, yeah, despite the fact that her top is, you know, opened completely, you can't shoot her under the breastline.
Yeah, but who'd want to shoot those? I mean, that's like, they're right there, but then I'd break them and it'd be sad.
It's true. I mean, you know, since Catwoman is bi, if really all she's doing is just rubbing her tits, you know, I'm pretty sure she could disable Catwoman long enough to shoot a 30,000 volt,
I don't know. She might enjoy that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now, her costume also, she does have a utility belt, which she carries various throwing discs and other things like that. However, one thing she has on her at all times is 4 pounds of C4. Probably wouldn't come into,
Yeah, Yeah,
into
I told
play in
you,
this.
Fury wants her alive.
Yeah, exactly. Which, another thing, she does carry handguns, and she's very proficient with handguns. Which, again, there could potentially be a shootout between the two of them, but it wouldn't be antagonized by Black Widow in this case. Because Nick Fury wants Catwoman alive.
And you don't want to go up against the director talking about authority.
Exactly. Even if Catwoman opens fire, Black Widow might still end up trying to tag her with a Widow's Bite instead.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much the equipment portion of all this. But now we get to the meat and potatoes of all this. The ability section. Now, okay, so I'm going to start this off because a lot of the things that Catwoman lacks as far as strength, she makes up for in speed and agility. You know, because like I said, she is used to going one-on-one with Batman, who is actually not much weaker than Captain America. When we did the research, Captain America can bench 1,200. Batman apparently regularly benches 1,000 pounds. I can hear your brain breaking right now.
Pete Cumin.
A 1,000-pound bench press. That is...
You know that video you showed me?
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Ow! Yeah. So... But yeah, okay, so she's used to fighting guys that are fast and can hit like a motherfucker. So, Black Widow's 500-pound bench, she's given up speed for that. Because she does have a bit more muscle to go with it.
Yeah.
So, Catwoman, with her advanced acrobatics, she actually trained as a gymnast. So not only is she fast, but she is flexible. So she's going to be Jackie Channing all over the room while, Agent Widow is trying to punch the brick walls out from under her. Now, as we've gone over the hand-to-hand combat, she's actually considered to be advanced in that category with her multi-fighting styles. Now, another thing about Catwoman is she's stealthy. And she snuck up on Batman.
Yeah.
Which apparently you just don't do unless Batman trained you. It's like the only time people have ever gotten away from Batman like that are, one or two Robins. But yeah, she's a certifiable ninja. She's also an expert thief, so I'm assuming pickpocketing would not be out of the question. Although,
the C4.
do you really want to just grab things at random out of a superhero's belt pouch? I mean, you could grab anything.
Imagine her with Batman. It's like, shark repellent bat spray.
Like, what the hell is this for? But I mean, okay, so she's about to pickpocket Batman's utility belt, and she reaches in and she pulls out the little orb, and she's like, "Ha! Smoke bomb!" And she does like that, and then all of a sudden spikes come out of it because it's actually a bat caltrop, and she's like,
or some sort of explosive, because even though Batman won't use them on people, he will.
Yeah. Disguise is also considered one of Catwoman's abilities, but I think in this particular instance, it's really not going to help much.
Yeah,
unless Catwoman's trying to get away, at which point she may jump out of a window, do a quick change, and then, just discreetly slip off somewhere.
Exactly.
But I don't think she's going to be running.
Yeah.
Last on the list is feline empathy, which is a weird one. I mean, in some places they define it as she gets along with cats, and they recognize her as a friend. So, if this fight took place in, the Central Park Zoo, if they fell into a tiger enclosure, Catwoman's like, "Hey, it's me," and the tiger would be like, "Oh, cool," and then he'd attack Black Widow instead, because, it's one of his people.
Yeah.
In other places, they actually put it off as full-on animal control. Like, she can, tell cats what to do, which we all know is impossible. On every possible level. Exactly. Nobody tells cats what to do.
Yeah. So
let's see what the Black Widow is bringing to the table.
Well, we know her fighting style, as I mentioned. If she does get in close,